me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
Is it true that you said that there was a rotation of guys?
A roster.
Roster.
Yeah, what does a roster mean to you?
What does this mean?
You guys have to understand, have you ever heard of the repressed Catholic schoolgirl?
Never.
Yes.
I was, you know. Okay, so I was.
His Catholic school was in his living room. Imagine how repressed he was.
I was the repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But
What does a roster mean?
so it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like 2 guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
We got to start with this because that was insane. She said on camera with full chest, I used to pop these white frat boy houses. That's not an ambiguous phrase. That's not poetic. That's not metaphorical. That phrase has one meaning in every culture, language, and dimension. Then suddenly on Flagrant, she backtracks. I meant dancing, like twerking. The only other thing I could think of in the context of her using it would be maybe something like this.
Don't stop, pump that, don't stop, pump that, pump that, pump that, don't stop, bitch.
However, this is probably not what she's talking about. Most girls don't refer to a roster of men that they ran through as just guys they kiss and make out with, because when I was in school, hooking up usually meant something else. But then you got Akaash, who is basically just standing up for it and who you can tell is kind of dying on the inside. Like, just look at his face during this entire interview.
Just meant making out. Again, like everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right. So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah, literally.
Now, I will be honest, as much as I was heartbroken by what was going on with you guys and definitely with, Akaash, my brother, there was a little part of me that was like, it would be hilarious to come in here and find out you had a huge roster and was lying about being a virgin this whole time.
I think it's safe to say he is culturally delusional, or at least choosing not to believe what's right in front of him. Nobody in hip-hop, black culture, internet slang, club culture, rap lyrics, or any human community has ever used pop pussy for frat boys to mean light dancing. When we are not stupid, your husband is not stupid, and you weren't stupid when you originally said it. This isn't clarification, this is linguistic gymnastics. This part was almost worse. Originally, she said she had a roster, multiple guys, a full rotation, a wild girl phase. The tone she used in those original clips was not I was sending group texts, it was I was outside. But on Flagrant, suddenly the roster becomes guys I was talking to, maybe kissed once or twice, nothing happened. The way the definitions keep changing makes it feel like she's trying to win on a technicality. A roster is not. Phone calls, version updates, meaningless DMs. A roster implies participation. A roster implies activity. A roster implies movement. What's next? Now, I didn't have a hoe phase. I just had a transportation phase because I was getting picked up a lot.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
The inconsistency is not subtle. It's not accidental. It's strategy. Here's where it gets serious. Akaash has built a brand on roasting soft men, calling out simp behavior, clowning husbands who let their wives embarrass them, critiquing oversharing women in relationships, being the one real married guy who doesn't get walked over. That is his entire persona. So watching him sit still, smiling politely, while his wife redefines her past, walks back her own statements, contradicts herself, turns a hoe-faced TED Talk into a Disney Channel rewrite. You can see the damage to his brand in real.
No real roster.
Yes.
Because what is a roster, Al?
Yeah, what's a roster?
What was a roster like? What was
Urban Dictionary, Indian Dictionary, right?
Yeah.
Turban
I had a
dictionary.
roster.
In terms of the gold digging,
Yeah.
like
Serious.
Do you consider yourself a good gold digger?
Yeah. Because I invested low and waited for it to go high.
You're a gold prospect.
Yeah, that's not a gold digger.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're like a what is that? You're like a hedge fund manager.
Yeah, you're like Akaash with Bitcoin.
Exactly. And it's like,
She bought much lower than I did. she bought at the bottom.
Real time. This isn't him being abused. This isn't him being weak. This is him being placed in a no-win public situation created by her content. Either he pushes back and looks controlling or sits quietly and looks humiliated. Either way, the brand takes a hit, and that's why this interview even exists, to stop the bleeding.
You're a gold digger.
I was
You
a
got
gold
the
digger.
gold digger right here.
I know, it backfired on me.
You got this girl sleeping on the ground.
Yeah, I know. This whole thing backfired.
I was saying rent.
I used to really believe that you guys were poor with his sob stories so we could get Patreon going. I didn't know you were working at a fucking hedge fund this whole
Yeah.
time he was spending your money.
Well, I wasn't making that much. I was making like 70 grand a year in New York City on 2 people.
But that's good, though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when did you guys get really broke? And why did you stay with him?
2018. Okay, do you want the real answer or the fun answer?
I want to know the real answer. And like, I want to know that because I heard this beautiful story that Akaash told about you guys
Yeah.
sleeping on the floor and then
Yeah.
like him wanting to give you his North Face or something. And then you gave it back because you're like, it's not Mew Mew. I'm not sleeping in North Face. You saved your money and gave me Mew Mew. And then I'll sleep on the floor with Mew Mew.
It's in 2009. I'm just in North Bay.
No, but you guys were sleeping on the floor because you were evicted from your apartment. You were moving to New Jersey, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is real.
basically.
And you still wanted to stay with him.
Yeah, I mean,
Why?
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. This podcast felt like a humiliation ritual wrapped in PR. It's not humiliation because of her past. Everyone has a past. It's humiliating because of the backtracking, the contradictions, the frantic reframing, the new definitions of old words, the attempt to convince the internet their eyes lied the way Akaash had to nod while she negated her own quotes. At points, he looked like a man trying to pretend the house isn't burning while holding a fire extinguisher filled with glitter. And the worst part? You can tell he's only there because this affects his career. This wasn't a couple's heart-to-heart. This was a brand protection summit. Now we zoom out. In the past few years, we've seen a new trend. Influencer wives, podcast wives, viral wives, revealing extremely personal sexual histories with no regard for their husbands, their relationships, their privacy, or the consequences we've seen. Jada, Aisha, Curry, multiple TikTok couples, podcasters who treat personal trauma like YouTube thumbnails. And now her, a wife who casually went viral, telling the world about her popping pussy era.
I get it now, this sleep. I get it.
That's why I grabbed your chin so you couldn't.
I didn't move my face, though. I wasn't ready to find
You're supposed to check your mic.
I was there. I was there.
Mic check.
Who's mic? Mine? Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Suck that off you. Golly.
Okay. So it is a little bit overstimulating for you.
yeah, it like regulates him, but it kind of overstimulates me. And
Look,
like the videos people
yeah.
have seen are like the proposal videos, they're like already overstimulating.
Okay. So here's the thing that I think is like very I think the relatable thing is not wanting to make out with your partner in front of your entire family.
Yes.
But most people just do it because they're like, oh, I don't want my partner to feel embarrassed in this moment, even
Yeah.
though they're like, ugh. And you're just like, you just feel the ugh. But I do think it is. I do think it's relatable though to have that sensation of like, I don't want to be intimate around my like brother, sisters, or mom, dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that is. I think that's relatable to people.
Yeah.
Turning personal life into a podcast script. It's a career path, not a conversation, and unfortunately the husband always becomes collateral damage. The interview wasn't organic, reflective, self-aware, it was a controlled burn. A PR maneuver designed to calm the memes, rebuild Akaash's credibility, soften her image, reframe the narrative, minimize the hoe phase, branding repackage her behavior in a more palatable way. But the problem with PR cleanup is this: the internet always remembers the original version. You can't outtalk your own viral clips. You can't outspin your own words. You can't retroactively edit slang. The audience is not dumb. People didn't misunderstand her. People didn't misinterpret anything. They're reacting to exactly what she said. The real problem isn't her past, her partners, her choices, her freedom. The issue is the public contradiction, the retroactive cleanup, and the way Akaash was dragged into this mess without ever being the one who caused it. But the problem is you can't go on here talking about how some guy literally busted your asshole wide open, but then have the nerve to sit up here and act like you're a virgin. At least not a booty. Virgin and your spouse shouldn't have to sit through a public interrogation because of your podcast branding. This was avoidable. This was self-inflicted. This was a PR wildfire created by oversharing, and the interview didn't fix anything. It just made the contradictions more obvious. Final take. At the end of the day, this situation isn't evil, scandalous, shocking. It's embarrassing, it's avoidable, It's messy by choice. It's brand damaging for no reason. And the interview didn't solve it. It just put a glossy filter on a bad situation. Because the truth is, you can't do a rebrand when the internet already heard the original version. You can't redefine slang the world already knows. And you can't stop memes when your own words created them. But anyway, this Outta Pocket, where we talk about the things the rest of the internet is too uncomfortable to talk about. Make sure y'all like and
That's when I was
subscribe.
living in the Bay Area.
Peace.
And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my God. And I remembered that I would like try to finger me in my asshole. I'm like, first of all, we were not on those like terms. But anyways, so that was not consensual actually.